Welcome.
Well,
Yeah, it's all right. You're starstruck. I understand.
yeah.
It's no big deal. But I'm starstruck with you being here. So tell me a little bit about yourself. So we had you on the show beforehand. We unfortunately had some errors. So now we're back, which is better because you have a little bit more time under your belt. You had a lot of stuff happen between the last time you were here and now. So fill us in a little bit. So tell us a little bit about Rudy.
Well, after like the whole time we had at the summertime, I came back to play for the freshman team for the high school.
Well, tell us about what you did beforehand. So
Oh,
you went to Texas
yeah,
and you played for Paso Robles Bearcats. You're a freshman, right?
yeah.
And so you got invited to the Team USA, right? And so tell me a little bit about that experience.
Well, it was pretty good experience. I'm glad I got invited because the last time I went, it was a really good experience for me and my parents to be out like other than California. And I'm just glad that I got invited again to meet new people and like discover new challenges I can face.
So tell me about the game. Tell me about the kids. I mean, you play against kids all over the country, right?
Yeah.
And they're part of your team.
Yeah, so it can range from a freshman to a junior. So it's just a mix of sophomores, freshmen, and juniors on one team and against each other.
And so how did they know about you?
Well, the two ways that you can get invited is like you can go to a showcase that they host, or you can set up like a film just to put in an put into application, and they can submit. You can submit it, and they'll accept it or decline it.
Huh.
And that's how I got in.
And so they like what they saw
Yeah.
and they invited you out. And so then you got probably some pretty top level coaching
Yeah.
while you were there. So how long were you there before the actual game?
I was there like a week before the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was at Dallas Cowboys Stadium, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. And so did you get to meet any celebrity coaches or was there any of that kind of stuff there?
My coach was Jimmy Wilkerson. He
Okay.
was one of the old defensive tackles in the NFL.
Fun.
Yeah.
And so you got to kind of pull on his ear a little bit.
Yeah.
Wow. And how did the game result? How did that play out for you?
We were winning most of the time in that game, but they threw a Hail Mary and it tied up the game. So ended up being a tie, but it was a fun experience still.
Cool. And did you still talk to some of those guys that you played with and against?
Yeah, I still talk to most of them, and some of them are returning and some of them aren't. But I'm glad some of them are returning, so I have familiar faces.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So now you came back to Paso. Okay. So you start off on the freshman team.
Yeah.
And so tell me a little bit about this season.
Well, I started out in the freshman team, yeah, for about 4 games, and they needed more people on JV for 1 game, so I came to help because there's a lineman shortage, and we ended up winning that game, their first game ever, and after that, I got pulled up to varsity for the rest of the season, and I did pretty average for joining like around week 7, but I could have done a little bit better.
Wow, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So you basically you played all 4 years of high school in one season. You went from freshman to JV to now varsity.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And so did you get to start on varsity as well?
Yeah. I was a starting defensive tackle.
Nice.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about that, moving up to varsity, playing with seniors and all these guys that you've been kind of getting picked on probably because the seniors pick on the freshmen a little bit.
Yeah. Only a little bit, but when I first arrived, it was a good welcome, and they treated me like a good member of the team.
Cool.
And I'm just glad that I had them by my side during the season.
What was your most memorable game this season as a varsity player?
It definitely has to be my Arroyo Grande game, the senior night game.
Uh-huh.
It was a pretty good game. I had 6 tackles. I had 2 tackles for loss, and I had 4 pressures, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So coaches are excited about having you. You're excited about it. I'm sure dad's pumped.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So now you just, like I said, you have 3 more years of high school football.
Yeah.
I mean, really it's sky's the limit. You can do anything.
Yeah.
Very cool. So tell me a little bit about this new event that you're going to after Christmas. I had no idea.
Oh, well, it's the same thing as the Texas, but now I'm playing with like high schoolers, like juniors, freshmen, and sophomores, and it's everywhere around the world, like the last time or the country,
Mm-hmm.
and it's in SoFi Stadium, and it's a pretty good experience. I found out my coach was gonna be Andre McDonald, so
Oh, wow.
yeah.
So how did you get invited to this one?
I had put clips of my film from the whole season this year, and I sent it in, and they liked what they saw again, so
Really?
they accepted it. Yeah,
And so now you're going down there after Christmas, and the game is, what day is the game?
it is December 30th.
December 30th, and it's called what's the Classic Bowl or the
Yeah, the All Classic Bowl.
All Classic Bowl. So again, it's high school players from all over the U.S.
Yeah.
And who do you play? You just play other?
Yeah.
Is it like broken up, like, north and south, west and
It's broken up from Team Dream to Team Stars, and they play each other. I'm Team Dream, and I got 75.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's another organization.
Yeah.
They're affiliated or not affiliated?
They're affiliated.
They're affiliated?
Yeah.
So what do they tell you on this Team Dream and this organization? So I'm assuming that it's something that you're a part of now, and hopefully, next summer you'll be going to Texas again.
Yeah.
And so as you go to these different games, these college coaches are starting to follow you. Are they starting to like talk to you? Are you able to talk to them?
I am able to talk to them, but I haven't contacted any of them recently. But I'm hoping by next year I can start like processing more out and getting more interest from other colleges.
So at this point in your career and your age, for somebody like a youth players, because you came through the youth program as well.
Yeah.
What kind of advice would you give them to like start? Because this process isn't like, oh, you're a senior and I want to go to college. This process, you started this process when you're in 8th grade.
Yeah.
So you still have 4 more years until you're making a decision what you're doing.
Yeah, and my advice is just work as hard as you can and just be yourself and do what you think needs to be done.
And so what is your dreams for football? Tell me what your dreams are.
I aspire to be in the NFL, but if not, I can go down to XFL or USFL. But if that doesn't work out, then maybe like coach high school football.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's cool. Do you have a college that you have your sights on, or a couple of them that you're wanting to kind of lean towards?
There's a San Jose State
Okay.
and San Diego State that I was looking at. I had my interest more towards San Jose.
San Jose, a little more local, a little closer.
Yeah.
Mom and dad can get there and come support and watch you.
Yeah.
So that would be cool. And so what about your coaches this year? Tell me a little bit about your coaches and your some memories that you've had just with that element of the season.
Well, during my freshman period, like around the games, I had Coach Gallant as my head coach, and
Billy?
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he taught us a lot and just made us grow into men for just the next couple years.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And so then you had a brief JV coaches, right?
Yeah.
And then you have so who's your varsity line coach?
Our line coach. We had Coach Peddleton, but he recently got fired. So the new offensive line coach is Coach Carroll.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so now the season's out, football's over. Well, you're still in football season, I guess, for at least another week.
Yeah.
Now then your whole focus goes to basketball. Now you're playing for basketball. The Bearcat varsity or freshman or
just freshman?
Freshman. Okay, so then you play basketball, and then you start gearing up for football season again. Or are you going to play another sport afterwards?
I'm gonna wait until football season because I'm gonna be mainly working out most of the time and get ready for the football season. And I'm also gonna be like reffing for flag football stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
For the next level
Yeah.
flag football in Paso?
Yeah.
So after basketball season, it's nothing but eating
Yeah.
4, 5, 6,000 calories a day, right?
Yeah.
And just getting as big and mean as possible. Do you have a younger brother or a sibling?
I have a younger sister.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you ever like say put a helmet on her and say, okay, I want to practice a move?
Yeah, sometimes.
Awesome. Well, cool, Rudy. Well, thanks for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. And, hopefully we can watch that game. Is that going to be live?
It is going to be recorded, but I think you might have to pay for it. But I believe it's like $10.
Okay.
Maybe.
But we can somehow watch that. We're going to be able to watch the game one way or another afterwards.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, cool. Well, good luck in that. Make sure you take lots of pictures because then afterwards we'll get you back on the show and talk about that experience. Because again, I mean, you're going to have a lot of experience with these coaches, these players. I mean, you're probably playing with some like top level professional, parents' kids that are going to these high schools and you're playing with them.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty cool experience. Awesome. Rudy, thanks for coming on the show, man. Good luck.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it, guys. Want to thank you for tuning in to What's Up North County. And as always, we love to thank our sponsors, which is Escalar Wines, Wine Travelers Hideaway, Rancho Sestero Meat Cutting, Pillar Real Estate, and 805 Customs. Thanks again, guys. Thanks, Rudy, for coming on. Make sure you follow his career with the Paso Robles Bearcats. We'll see you next time.